one mission: to protect and hold on this planet to the next generation. Good morning, everyone present here. Today I'm here with my group to tell you something about climate change, which is the biggest challenge we have ever faced until now. So, what is climate change? Climate change simply refers to the change in the average weather conditions, such as the temperature, rainfall patterns, and wind, etc. So nowadays we're surely noticing that some days are really sunny and some days it's like so rainy. So we surely notice that the climate is changing rapidly day by day. While we are spending one moment in our home resting, climate change is slowly attacking all the places all around the world. Winter days are not so cold like they used to be before, and summer days are really too much warm. So let us talk more about climate change, in other words, which is also known as global warming.
What do you mean by global warming? Global warming simply refers to the rising of the temperature in the earth, which leads to many disasters. And some of them, means really some of them, are melting of ice, which leads to rising of sea level, and another one is drought, which leads to food crisis. These are only some, and these disasters can lead to many disasters. One, it goes to two to three, three to four. So day by day, human settlements, animal habitats are being destroyed, and some of the more causes of climate change are
The major causes are as follows. Deforestation. In our day-to-day life, we can notice that our world is no more green. Very fewer trees are left. People have been cutting down trees for several purposes like building houses, etc. Industrialization. Our country, Nepal, has been a part of industrialization. They have been establishing industries in every part of the country, which pollutes the environment. Urbanization. Urbanization is good. The shifting of villages into a town is called urbanization. But in these urbanizations, they have been establishing factories, industries, which pollutes the environment. Overpopulation. Our country, Nepal, our country, Nepal's population is increasing day by day, even the world's population. The population of Nepal, according to the 2011 census, is 2,64,94,504, and the growth rate is 1.35%. Overuse of natural resources. Our country, Nepal, is rich in natural resources, so that doesn't mean that we have to overuse it. For example, water bodies. Water bodies are reused. They have been being dirty day by day. Use of old vehicles. In the 21st century, they have invented several electric cars. If we compare electric cars and the old vehicles produce a lot of smoke. Overgrazing. Farmers take their animals to graze, sometimes in the same place, which leads to soil erosion, etc. Use of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are burned, for example, coal, petrol, diesel, etc. So these leads to climate change.
deforestation. Deforestation is bad because we cut down trees and we make cupboards, tables, and paper out of it. And after that gets old, we throw it away. We need to recycle it and make something good out of it, so it is used for us. And we need to practice this recycling method to make save our world. And see in that picture, there one side is red and one side is beautiful blue. And our world is currently looking like the blue one, but in the near future, it might change into the red side. Urbanization. Urbanization is good and bad. Urbanization is good because we change the small towns and villages to big cities, and it might also be an attraction of that city. And it is bad because we make industries, and the industries will throw out smokes and gases, and it will lead to climate change. Overpopulation. Overpopulation is bad because people will go into places
places and make homes and cut down trees at their place. And we should do family planning and make homes at barren places.
Effects of climate change. Some after that, the climate change and global warming is occurred. There are some effects, and some of the effects are heavy rainfall. Many places which are now getting rainfall may not get rainfall, and which are not getting rainfall may get very heavy rainfall. Melting of glaciers. There are many glaciers in the world, like Khumbu Glacier, which is the biggest glacier of Nepal, which may melt if the climate change continues rising sea level. After the glaciers have melted, the sea level rises the level, and many countries in the land like Maldives may drought. Today, Nepal is a very fertile country, but if the climate change continues, Nepal may have drought. Many places in Nepal may have drought. Extinction of flora and fauna. Many plants and animals has already extinct due to human causes. Other flora and fauna also may extinct if the climate change continues. Destruction of food crops. Some food crops need suitable climate for their growth. Some need cold places and some need warm places. If climate change continues, the cold the crops which grow in cold places may get extinct. Food crisis. Many after if the food many destruction of food crops continues, food crisis also may happen, and habitat loss also can happen.
Melting of ice caps. So we surely know that many of the glaciers and ice caps in the planet are slowly melting down and causing destruction. These glaciers might result in the rising in sea levels, which also causes the lowlands to drown. So, rising sea level. As the sea level rises due to melting of glaciers, slowly, day by day, the sea levels will slowly come into the height of the buildings in our planet. And slowly, countries like Maldives may drown into the sea, and humans cannot live in this planet again. Extinction of flora and fauna. Extinction of fauna. So, in the polar regions like Antarctica and Arctic oceans and those places which are very cold, there are still some animals living in those places. And these glaciers are slowly melting, which is destructing their habitat. They don't have any place to live because due to global warming, the ice and glaciers are melting and they can't live. All those glaciers have turned to water and they have no place to live. Drought. Due to global warming, the heat waves increase and cause fertile lands to dry up. And this drying of land is known as drought. So we must take care of all of these problems, and there are many more problems too.
So I think every problems have solutions, right? They do. And yet many solutions to climate change, and some of them are popular. Spread awareness through seminars, exhibitions, etc. We can spread awareness about the climate change to the people through seminars and exhibitions, mostly to the people which live in rural areas. Once the people are aware about the climate change, they will seek methods on how to stop climate change. Number 2, afforestation programs should be conducted. Nepal was very greenery before, but now it's exactly the opposite. People cut down trees for the benefit of them, but they don't think about the problem that exists too. The problem is that there is more amount of carbon dioxide and less amount of oxygen, as the trees and plants help us to change carbon dioxide into oxygen, which is a very big help from them. Protection of trees. As the people cut down trees, and there are less number of trees present in our planet. So the government of our nation or each nation should try to protect those trees which are still present in our nation. Proper use of natural resources. Every country has its own speciality, and our country, Nepal, has a speciality in rich in natural resources. We people do not use those natural resources wisely, so we should act wisely and be wise. Ban of all vehicles. All vehicles are very smoky, which pollute the air. We breathe in the same polluted air which causes different diseases in our body. So now, the old vehicles should be banned and new vehicles should be used. Stop burning fossil fuels. If we burn fossil fuels, many gases will be released which causes global warming. And the last, use of 3 R's. So 3 R's stand for reduce, reuse, and recycle. We should put these methods into action in order to stop climate change.
Afforestation programs should be conducted. We all know that deforestation is slowly taking place in the planet, and all the trees that are existing are slowly going to be cut. So we all must plant more trees, and we also have heard a saying that if you cut one tree, you must plant 10 more trees. So we must protect the trees which are still left and try to plant more trees. Protection of trees. Like I said earlier, we people are so ignorant that we don't protect the trees that are still existing. The government may act, we are still waiting for the government to act to protect all the trees which are still existing. But even we citizens have a role in afforestation programs and protection of trees, etc. So we must all work together and protect the trees which are still existing. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. So this is a 3R method, and I'm sure we all are familiar with this method. So if we put this method into action, the climate change will slowly start to go away from our planet. Because climate change is the most biggest challenge till today we've ever faced. So if we use these methods, then we can surely take this climate change out of our planet. Spreading awareness. We are small, but we are still spreading awareness through all these presentations and seminars and exhibitions. So what can the adults do? Those who are much more bigger and talented than us. Even they can play a role in spreading awareness. We are small, but we have a great mind. So even adults may be big, and they might have a bigger mind than us. So we must all work together to spread awareness to all those uneducated people, so that they can know something and learn something about climate change.
In the latest program, WIMSTIC, there are 9 main topics that are discussed, and one of them is climate change. Now our government is teaming up with peers to fight against this globally affected problem. Now I'd like to talk about some points which the government should be doing to fight against climate change. Solar energy. The government should be using solar energy instead of fossil fuels because fossil fuels remove harmful gases. Awareness. The government should make mass awareness programs so people know the effects, causes, and solutions to climate change. Car checking. The government should check cars because some cars are very old and produce lots of amount of smoke.
So, how many of you like this picture? I'm sure many of you like this picture where there is so much greenery and all this water clean. You must be wishing to live in this area. This was our country and planet earlier. But slowly all these water resources are getting polluted and these trees are getting cut down. Would you like to stay in an environment which is so polluted with all the smokes and you can't even get, you're in stress and you are not even happy living there, where you can see no trees and no water? Would you like staying in those environments? You must not I'm sure that you all don't want to stay in an environment like that. So if you want an environment like this, we must all work together to form an environment like this. You see this picture? It describes that we human beings are slowly building industries which is which is affecting the mother nature. We are slowly killing mother nature day by day, and we are not doing anything against it. We're just seeing everything that's happening, and mother nature is slowly drowning in all those smoke and industries being built up and all those smoke and carbon dioxide. So if we work together and move this gun down, then mother nature will be saved. We are the protectors of mother nature. We must try to protect our nature. Nowadays, there are no trees, no greeneries. Even if you look outside, buildings everywhere. At least in our school, there are some trees and plants. But as you step outside, there might be some trees in some areas, and elsewhere, they're all dust and smoke. You all would love to stay in a place where there's greenery and all the birds chirping and the water flowing. I'm sure you all would like to stay, and even we would like to stay in an environment like that. But to form an environment like that, we must all work together, which we're not doing. We human beings are so selfish and ignorant that we only think about us. We don't think about the danger that is slowly approaching our planet. Have you even thought what would be the effect to us and how it would affect the nature if climate change approaches to us? I'm sure you might think, oh, this is a presentation they speak for right now, and they don't act. But if we don't work together and don't act, then how will we ever form an environment like that? Right now, only destruction is taking place outside in the planet. But if we have a strong desire to change this, then we all can surely work together and form an environment that is full of greenery. So in the end, what I would like to say is that we must all work together, and just like a bird spreads its wings before flying, we must spread our knowledge before any danger takes place. Thank you.